Hi. Hi. You may have seen it on my post on my account, but you're gonna need block-like things today. So you can see I've got actual yoga blocks. I've also got, that's a pretty heavy duty shoebox, and then I've also got a very tall stack of hardcover books. If you're gonna use this tall stack of hardcover books because that's all you have, don't put them on your mat where mine are. Stack them. It's been a really long time since I've lifted any weights, but my niece left. They're gonna go up like near the top of your mat, about the middle-ish. Okay, if you've got actual yoga blocks, awesome, use them. Otherwise, if you don't have either, I mean, it's yoga. Do what you can within the direction of the shape that you're being taught, and I mean, sit with it. That's what it is. I'm gonna let you guys just sign in for a bit. I'm gonna go light a yoga stick because that's what I do to get my space set up. Usually my lights are a lot lower. There's like a spotlight on me, and every single light in my apartment is currently on because this space has no natural lighting. I guess it does matter right now, it's still kind of light out. But this is what I do. I also like to light a candle, but when it's dark and moody in here, that's even nicer. But if you want to set your space up a little darker, moodier, you can do that. Hello. If you have playlist, get your music device set up. If you're setting it up near your mat, I am gonna get you started. We'll start in a child's pose today. So you can get that set up somewhere around you, or if it's somewhere far away, don't worry about it. Just like play the music, settle into a child's pose after, yeah? This sounds good. I think the counter has leveled out. If it hasn't and people tune in late, I think that they're starting to figure out that you can just like watch it later for about a day. So get near your playlist, and I count down 3, 2, 1, and then I go play like this with my finger. And when I'm pressing down with this finger, I'm also pressing down with my finger. So I think it usually lines up pretty well. I hope it does, because we all know how I feel about music in class and everything. Like, I like to end class at the same time the music ends. So, getting ready. So we'll go over it again. 3, 2, 1, play. Okay, ready? Am I ready? Yes, I'm ready. Okay. So, 1, 2, 3, play. All right. So get started in that child's pose, and let it be somewhat easy. Okay, yes, I can hear this. You can shift around a little bit. Notice your hip creases. Are you feeling any compression there? And if you are, you just move the leg bones in or out. Explore around. Find the spaces that feel good for you. The forehead can come to the floor. You could stack your chin on your hands. It doesn't matter what feels good for you right now and what is going to just help you pause and settle in is what works. Take a couple deep breaths into whatever shape you've chosen, noticing the expansion of the rib cage with the inhale. Just like a release of tension with the exhales. Become really aware of your rib cage. Think about it like a basket that expands and then pulls back in. So as you inhale, it expands out in 360 degrees, and as you exhale, it pulls back in on itself. Take a couple more deep breaths where you are. And then you're gonna slowly start to take your right hand out to the side. Start to turn your right thumb down. And then take your right hand just onto the sacrum there. Your right elbow is gonna wanna fall forward. That's your shoulders starting to internally rotate. Well, you're already internally rotated. That's gravity pulling forward. I want you to start to pull the arm back behind you by pressing the back of your hand or your knuckles into the sacrum. And then you can keep the head down, or you can start to play around with moving the head from side to side. Try to point the elbows straight back behind you. And then switch. Take the right hand forward. Left hand will go out to the side. The left thumb faces down. Take the back of the left hand onto the back, and then press down all the way into the fingernails as you start to lift the left elbow behind you. Try not to turn the rib cage here. Just do the work from the shoulder. Try to keep your rib cage either between your thighs, or mine's actually on top of my thighs because I'm finding knees together to be a little more comfortable right now. Take one more deep breath into that sensation. I know it's not pleasant. I got a request for some binds. Slowly start to walk your left hand forward, and then from there slowly come forward into a plank. So this is also a detox core flow. So little bit of core activation. Take the feet really nice and wide. See where you can really push the heels toward the back of your mat. Engage through your quads. So really try to straighten the backs of your knees. Tuck the tailbone down toward the backs of your heels. Pull the navel in toward the spine. And really find lift at your chest rather than sinking. And then from there, take both heels over to the left. Push the left side away from the mat. Reach the right arm up. Good. And then slowly come back through center. Slowly take a chaturanga push-up. You can go knees down. And then push all the way back up. Take both heels to the right. Push the right side up. Lift the left arm. Take the left hand down. Slowly lower, chaturanga push-up. Lift back up. One more time each side. You can skip the chaturanga push-up and just hold the plank in the middle. And then both heels to the right. Left arm up. And then take the left hand down. Push the heels back or take the knees down, one or the other. Slowly start to lower to your belly. Point your toes back. You're gonna slide your hands just off the mat. Fingertips are pointed, elbows face up, but roll your shoulders back. And then really point through the toes. Extend the big toes, the baby toes back in space as you lift the head, neck, and chest. See where you can pull the shoulders away from the ears. And then just take the right shoulder down toward the floor. Lift the gaze over the left shoulder. I'm getting a foot cramp in my foot here, so please ignore me. Inhale, lift the right shoulder back up. And then as you exhale, the left shoulder comes down, gaze up toward the right elbow. So just see where you can turn the gaze away from that shoulder and get a little more stretch through the front. Slowly start to come back up. Exhale, come back down. And then slowly start to come back into a child's pose, knees together, knees apart, your choice. Walk the hands to the right, really stretch the left side out. Twists actually require a lot of length in the sides. So a few more deep breaths into that left side rib cage. And don't worry, we will start moving. I'm just gonna get my hair up. Another 3 breaths. 2 breaths. And then walk it all the way back through center. Take the hands over toward the left. Pull on the right wrist if you want. Make the right sit bone really heavy. Try to pull the right side of your body in opposite directions. And then breathe into the sensations that you feel. Either inhaling into them to create more space within them, to give those stabilizers more action, and exhaling to soften action so you're not releasing so much effort, and to release tension. And then slowly start to come back through center. Slowly come forward, tabletop. And then from there, tuck your toes, lift your seat bones up and back, take downward facing dog. You can feel free to pedal out your feet here. Or rock your hips from side to side. Shake your head yes and no. Move it any way that helps you to release tension. Any way that opens up the body feels generally good for you right now. So in a downward dog, if you're top heavy, bend your knees. Push with your hands. Send your belly back towards your thighs. And then slowly try to straighten the legs. Look back between the thigh bones. It will help. Breathe here for another 3. Press all the way down to your fingertips like your cat climbed down into AstroTurf. 2. And then look forward between your hands, bend your knees, step or hop to a seat. And then roll down onto your back. Interlace your hands behind your head, uncross your feet. Take a deep breath in. And then take the legs out into tabletop. So I want your legs to be hip width apart as well. Really root down through the sacrum. And then slowly start to lift your head, neck, chest. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, take that right elbow to the left knee. 1. Back to center. 2. Switch. Center. 3. Center. 4. Center. 5. I know they're hard. 6. 7. Try to think about sending your armpit toward the opposite knee. 8. 9. It's 10. Pause for 3. Send your head back into your hands, lengthen your neck. 2. Alright, so slowly start to come down, pull your knees in toward your chest and just rock yourself a little side to side. Take the legs back out into tabletop, separate the legs so that they're about hip width apart, so about a block in between the thighs. And then try to lift from like the back of your heart rather than the front. So you're lifting up through like the back of the shoulder blades. Take a deep breath in and then we'll go double time this time. You'll switch. Switch. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Another 10. If you do them quick, you have to do double the amount. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it over. Come back down. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. And then press down through the feet. Start to lift the hips up. Start to interlace your hands underneath of your bum there. And then I'll actually push down into my elbows and set my fists up into my sacrum to help me boost up onto my shoulders a little bit more. Press down through the balls of your feet, so make sure you're not just wanging out through the knees. And then from here, you can either keep the elbows bent and try to draw the arm bones in a little closer, or start to straighten the elbows. Try to take the back bend out of it by extending the tailbone forward to the backs of your knees. And then slowly start to come down. Pull the knees in toward the chest. Rock up and down the mat 2 or 3 times. You're going to try to rock up to a stand. You might fall. So I'm going to come out of frame a little bit. This doesn't matter. Draw the feet to the top of your mat. And as you inhale, lift both your arms up. As you exhale, fold over your legs. Pull your forehead back towards your shins. As you inhale, draw your chest and your gaze forward. Press your hands down onto the floor. First one's going to be slow. You can step back or hop back to plank. Take a breath. And then slowly lower to the belly. Keep pushing the heels back. Okay, this is going to get a little weird. Take the right hand out to the side. And then you're going to turn the right arm so the right palm is up. And then you're going to press into the back of the hand to try to lift the right shoulder up and back. And then maybe you start to gaze away from the shoulder. If that's not enough for you, bend your right elbow about 90 degrees. Again, press down through the back of the hand to help you loop the shoulder up off the floor a little bit. And then start to look up over your left shoulder. Really resist with the right hand on the floor to help you find more space across the front of your right chest. And then slowly start to come back down. And you'll do the same weirdo thing on the other side. So the right hand is sort of like in chaturanga. It's just there so that I can brace with my elbows in. Left hand out to the side, turn the left upper arm bone so the left palm faces up. And then you press into the back of the hand, just like you did on your sacrum. Just try to draw the shoulder up, and then I sort of like lift and look away. If that's not enough, then the left elbow, I almost said knee, that's your arm knee, bend that. And then press into the back of the hand again, start to lift the shoulder, and see where you can start to lift the gaze. And then slowly start to come back down. And then this time, you're gonna brace with the hands so that you can pull the elbows in so that the shoulders can loop back. Lift your chest, tuck your toes under, lift your knees. Start to pull your belly button up toward your spine. Push your hands down into the floor. Can you come all the way up through a full plank? And then push back to the downward dog. Sigh when you land, because that stuff was hard. And then look forward between your hands, bend your knees. You can step or hop your feet to the top of the space. Breathe and lift your chest forward as you exhale. Pull your forehead in towards your shins. Inhale, lift your arms up. And then exhale, take your hands down to your heart. So just pay attention because I'm gonna make the sun salutations a little weird today. Inhale, lift both arms. As you exhale, fold over both your legs. Inhale, chest will lift forward. As you exhale, the hands will come down. Step or hop back to plank. You can lower this time through chaturanga, a knee chaturanga. I like to do it with my shins off the floor, belly button up, chin, chest forward, maybe even look forward. And then I'll extend, lift, push, and then back downward dog. Breathe for one. I'm just gonna sit on my heels for a moment because my feet they are cramping right now, so I'm just gonna break there. So if yours are, sit on your heels now. Just be very intentional with your movements. You're here for another 2. And then to hop forward in yoga or to walk forward, either one, you want to move to a space where you're looking right in between your thumbs. So you wind up, and maybe you take a step and you still look, or you take a hop and you still look. And then you inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, forehead into shins. Inhale, lift your arms. And exhale, take your hands down your heart. Okay, last one, you'll inhale, lift arms up. And then you'll exhale, forehead pulls into shins. You inhale, lift chest forward. Stay, hands come down to the floor. Left knee comes back, left knee comes onto the floor. Brace through the legs, don't sink. Brace and lift. Start to lift the arms. Take that right thumb down into the right hip crease. Pull the right sit bone in toward the left sit bone, lift your left hip crease up. And then you're gonna slowly start to turn to the right, and then start to reach that left arm up and back. Try to keep your right shoulder easy. And then take a deep breath into that. And then you're gonna like karate chop it across your right thigh. And then you're gonna press into that right elbow. Try to lift your chest. Keep this right hand here. Keep pulling the right hip back. Take the right hand back. Turn the right thumb down. Take the right hand to your sacrum. It should feel pretty flat. And then slowly start to pull the right elbow back. Maybe your right hand creeps underneath your left hip. Raises it there. Breathe. Right hip keeps pulling back. Press down into the right foot. I know. All right, slowly start to lift that left arm up. Right arm. Take both hands down. Step the right foot back to meet the left foot. Lower through chaturanga to the floor. Keep the hands where they are. Lift the right leg, baby cobra. Come back down. And then lift the chest, elbows in, brace through the hands. Lift the knees. Pull your belly button up toward your spine. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. And then back to downward dog. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Shake your head. Do what you need to do. And then look forward. Bend knees. Step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, chest lifts forward. As you exhale, fold over your legs. Lift your arms. Just fold right away. And then lift the chest. Stay. Take the right leg back. Okay, take the right knee down, lift up out of the hips. Don't just sink down into them. Looks like this. Stand on them. Looks like this. Get long through both sides of the waist. Extend your tailbone down toward the back of your right knee. Left thumb. Left hip crease, pull the left sit bone in toward the right sit bone, lift the right hip crease up. Belly back and in. Right arm up, and then turn to the left, and then start to reach that right hand as far away from your left knee as you possibly can. Keep pulling the left hip back, feel some grounding through that left foot. You can see how much I'm grounding through my back leg, it's shaking. And then karate chop, hiya. And then push your left leg out into your right arm at the same time as you push your right arm into your left leg. Everything gets a little more stable, sucked in. It's called a contact banda. Left arm starts to move back. Left thumb works down. And then it comes toward the sacrum. And then you can start to pull back. You might be able to creep the hand underneath of that right hip. Lift the right hip up. And then really extend through the spine. 3 more breaths. My mind is just swearing right now, by the way. 2. All right, slowly start to unwind. Oh my God. Step the left foot back to meet the right. Lower to the floor. Twisting left feels way different than twisting right for me. Keep the hands where they are, slide them back a little further, elbows in, lift the chest. Ooh, lift your left leg, keep your right toes on the floor. Come down. 1 more time. How slow can you do it? And then push back downward dog. Come down onto your knees. Sit back onto your heels. Take a child's pose. Roll out your wrists. 5. 4. 3. Needed that. 2. All right, so come forward. You'll come back into downward facing dog. Look forward, top of your mat, bend your knees. Step your feet to the top of your mat, breathe in, lift your chest. Exhale and fold. Lift the arms up, breathe in. And then exhale, take your hands to your heart. Good, so slowly start to bend into your knees, send your seat bones back, lift your arms. And then as you exhale, start to send the seat bones up a little bit more, but also back, so your chest can move forward. Arms are still forward. It's kind of like that karate chop, hiya. And then you push the legs out into the elbow at the same time as you push the elbow into the leg. And that keeps you from curving in a twist to make you more long. And you can see, I want to like instinctively really hold my head up. I could let that be longer and just look up. Right hip back. All right, slowly unwind, sit towards your heels. Sit down onto your bum. Lift your feet, lift your legs, take a breath, and then slowly start to take your hands over to the left. Is this right? Come down, come back up. Now right. Now up. You can do this bend knees. Now left. Now up. Now right. Now up. Now left. Now up. Now right. Now up. Now left. Now up. Now right. Now up. Now left. Now up. Last one. But turn over onto your right side. And then just stay here for 5. 4. Try to lift your legs more. 3. Reach your hands towards your feet. 4. Just on the one bum cheek. Now center. And cross your feet over one another. Roll over the top of your feet. You can vinyasa. Now I'm feeling a little exhausted, so no. Breathe for 5. 4. 3. 2. Good, so lift that right leg up. And then from there, you're gonna step the right foot forward in between hands. Take the left knee down onto the floor, we've been here. Push the right hip down, lift the left arm up. Really reach up from that left knee, left hip, turn. And then reach back. 3 breaths, trying to prevent this from happening. Right thigh bone moves back, left hip moves up, you reach. And then hiya. and you come down. Okay, so you can stay here again. Or you can start to take that left arm down. Might be able to take the right arm out. You might be able to take that right hand behind the back. Come underneath of the left hip. You might be able to come up off the left knee. Continue twisting the right shoulder, the right elbow toward the back. Maybe lift off that left arm. Maybe bend. Or you can start to walk the left foot forward. I got a request for Bird of Paradise, but this is a twist class. Press down into the left foot. Start to lift the right leg up. Lower the right sit bone down. And then eventually kick the right foot out. Chest broad. All right. Slowly down. All right, and then those of you who just held that really super long twist, you're gonna unwind. Step the weight back into the left ankle. Fold over your right leg. You can bend your right knee. You may need blocks. 3 breaths. 2. All right, and then from there, we're all gonna move into a balance pose that's a little more manageable. It's still quite difficult. This is where those books at the top of your mat are gonna come in handy, or a block. Walk forward onto the right foot. Lift the left leg up. Take your left hand onto that stack of books, but reach your chest straight forward. And then stand on that right leg, reach the left toes back, and start to twist the left side rib cage underneath of you. Chest forward, foot back. 3 breaths. Right hip back. Woo, 2 breaths. All right, slowly or fast, feet together. Just fold over both your legs. So if you've ever wondered if we ever struggle through the thing, yeah, yoga's hard. And it all depends on so many things. We put so much stock into what it looked like. How did it feel? So just continuing to fold over top of the legs for a moment. And then you'll slowly start to heel toe your feet together. Inhale, lift your chest forward. Exhale, fold over your legs. And then start to bend into your knees. All right, lift your arms. So Utkatasana is seat bones down, chest up. To move it into a twist, it's seat bones back, chest forward. So the spine is nice and long. And then right elbow presses down into left knee. Pull the left elbow back by pressing down into the left hand. The left shoulder comes down. Right hip moves back in space. Belly's pulling back to spine. And then slowly start to unwind. Sit to your heels. Sit on your bum. Lift your legs. Can be here, 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 or here. And then you go to the right. Down, and then up, down, up, down, up, down, up. 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, up. Oh wait, stay in 5. Come onto your left sit bone, and then try to reach for your toes for 3 breaths. For 2 breaths. All right, over center. Cross your ankles, roll over top of your feet. Come through vinyasa if you choose. Or on top or down, going straight back. Good, so if you took the vinyasa, just sigh when you land. And then you know where this is going. So it's either left foot forward, right knee coming down. We're all gonna start here, please. Lift out of the hips. Left thumb pushes down into left hip crease. Right arm reaches up, you start to twist to the left. And then start to reach that right arm back in space. And then high over top of that right knee. And then you start to twist the chest through. And so for those of you who want to take that twisted bird of paradise, Move through it on the other side. I'm gonna stay with the people who are down this time because honestly my left side can't do it. So I think I'll be more useful to them here and myself. So for those who are still down on the floor, keep trying to lift your chest up to where your thumbs are. It can sort of sink toward an armpit. Push, 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 push until it gets to the center of the chest. Push the left thigh bone out into the right elbow. And then see where you can just take your left arm back again. And then start to reach the back of the left hand for the right hip and just draw it up. And see where you can just think about broadening through the collarbones there. 3 more. 2. Amazing. And then you'll slowly unwind. People who were in bird paradise, you're coming out and moving back into pyramid. So pyramid pose. My left side is a lot different than my right. I need to bend my left knee a lot more. Lift up through the right thigh bone. You can play here. I'm being very still. I'm normally quite shifty. So that's just the thing, right? Like, the practice will change and we don't have to attach anything to why that might have happened. Or like, attach anything to what we expect to get out of it. Just be in it. It's the most beautiful part about it. And then I'm just gonna move my left foot back a little bit here because otherwise I won't be able to grab those bucks. Come over onto the left foot. You just lift the right leg up a bit until you can find your books. So now they're actually too far away, so I'm gonna have to, so this, you can fiddle around a bit. And then really press into the right hand like you would in a plank. Lift the chest up. And then you slowly start to turn the left arm up. That's feeling a little deep for me today, so I'm actually just gonna bind my hand behind my back. And you wanna try to reach the top of your head forward. Like I've reached my head forward into my wall so much that I can lift my right hand now. That's the direction the head goes. And then slowly, ooh, we did it slowly this time. Isn't that lovely? Fold. Oh my gosh, there was asymmetry in my practice. Who cares? Who cares? All right, cool. So from there, slowly start to heel toe your feet in. Come up onto your tippy toes this time, sit down toward your heels, take your knees a little wide. You can stay here and work to lift the chest if this is gonna feel good for you. If you've been feeling any pain in between your shoulder blades, it's likely from the amount of flexion that the top half of your spine has been in. You wanna start working some extension, yo. And if you're just feeling like you wanna lean forward, try to really be up on your toes. Like notice the work of being on your toes. I want your calves to ignite, to get you up onto your heels a little more. I mean your toes, whatever. All right, slowly start to lift. Set the heels down onto the floor, fold in. Inhale, lift your chest forward. As you exhale, press your hands down onto the floor. Step 4, hop back to a plank. Slowly lower, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, back down facing. Look forward between your hands, bend your knees. Step up, jump through to a seat. Lower back down onto your floor. Towel off if you need to. One day, your knees will come in so far, you'll be able to just towel yourself off with your knees. And then you're gonna interlace your hands behind your head. Legs up in tabletop, move a bit in here, move a bit in here. Oh no. Slowly start to lift the head, neck, and chest. From there, you're gonna extend that left leg out in space. You're gonna start to extend your arms forward in space. And just like you did when you were lunging, push your leg out into your arms and your arms back out into your leg. And then lift your left leg up. And then lower your left leg down. You can do this bent knees. And then lower, that's 2. Lift, keep pressing these 2 together. 3. 4, anybody paying attention? 5, I'm not. 6, relax your shoulders, lift your chin. 7, 8, 9, 10, 10. 9, you can come down when you need to. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, keep pressing. 3, 2, last one, hold. Now can you lift your chest higher? Maybe pulse. 1, 3, 4, cool. Bring it down. Take that left leg forward. Pull the right knee in. Drop the right hip down. And then slowly start to draw that left knee in. Turn your right thigh bone out. Interlace your hands behind your head. And pull your left thigh bone in using the hip crease. Push your right hip crease forward using muscles within the hip creases. Really use your hip creases to keep your spine down on the floor as you pull the knee in. 3 breaths. 2. Good. Take the left leg up toward the sky. Take the right leg up. And then cross the left leg over top of the right leg. Take the right toe tip down onto the floor. Keep your low back really nice and grounded. Slowly start to lift your tail and your shoulders. Tap your head to your knee. And then relax. And then slowly come back up. Tap. Come back down. Come back up. Tap. Back down. Back up. Tap. Back down. Sorry guys, my glucose monitor is giving me a pain. Stay. 3 breaths. 2 breaths. Bring it down. Lift your hips. Send them to the left. Let your knees fall down right. Breathe there for 5. You can keep the hands the way they are. I'm going to take them out wider. Your call. 4. I do find the weight of the left arm all the way out to the side to be quite nice. Some people will find that painful, nerve sensations or even tingling in the fingertips. That's compressing a nerve or a blood vessel. Put your hand down more. So you could not see my left hand. What I did was put my left hand down more. So let's just roll back onto your back. Unwind. Bring the knees in toward the chest. Start to rock up and down the mat 2 or 3 times. You can roll through vinyasa back to downward dog or just make your way back. And you're gonna walk your feet, your arm feet, your hands back towards your real feet, your feet. Bend your knees a lot. Let your rib cage just come down onto the thighs, wherever that might be, and then pull your forehead in toward your shins. And slowly start to lift the seat bones up and try to keep your head as close to your shins as it is. Breathe into your thigh bones. This is where you're getting the massage for the torso, which is part of the detoxification process. Massage leads to better blood flow. Better blood flow leads to healing. It leads to better efficiency of organs doing what they do. Better blood flow, good. And then slowly start to walk your hands forward. Coming to a crouching tabletop. Hold. 5. Really push the heels back toward basically where the commons are for me, but toward the back of your mat. Push into your hands, extend both sides of your neck forward, and then pull your navel up towards your spine. Feel the work everywhere, but then soften the work. Exert only as much effort as you need to. For another 5. This is why when you see this stuff happening, you're wondering, how the heck is she talking and doing that? There comes a point where the work and the ease start to balance out. Okay, come down. Slowly start to sit back towards your heels. Sit up onto your heels. Just stretch out the arches of your feet for a moment. You could start to lean back a little bit more as long as you remain really active through the core. Knees down on the floor, pelvic floor in and up. Nice little stretch for those calves. Roll your tailbone, not your tailbone, your seat bones forward on your Achilles tendon. And then slowly start to come forward. Take your hands down. Lift your seat bones up and back. Take a deep breath in where you are. And then a breath out. And then look forward between your hands. Bend your knees, step, hop, jump to a seat. Roll onto the back. I do believe this is where we are. And then interlace your hands behind your head again. Take your legs into tabletop. And then you're gonna start to take the right leg forward, draw the left knee in, lift the head, neck, chest. and then start to reach the hands past that left thigh. And then you're gonna see, I wanna pull it over towards you. Can I see where I can push it further away so it remains in line with my left hip? And then lift the right leg, lower, 2, lower, 3, lower. You wanna feel your right oblique, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, breathe, especially out, 9, 10, 10, you can come down when you need to, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, oh my God, 4, 3, 2, okay, last one, but then you get to lower and lift your chest a little more. 3 breaths, 2 breaths. All right, slowly start to come back down onto the floor. Pull the right knee in toward the chest, turn the left thigh bone out, and use your hips. Use your hips to create this shape, not your hands. It's a hip opener, so find the work in the hips first, and then over time, the hands assist the work. How much focus and attention can you put in that area so that you can make, like an educated decision about where to go, what to do? Pay attention. That attention will provide an intention with what you're doing. What is it that you're meaning to do with what you're doing, rather than just doing it? And then start to take the left leg up toward the sky. Take the right leg up. Right leg over left. Keep the spine really heavy to the floor as you lower the left toe tip down. Interlace the hands behind the head. Take a deep breath in and then curl up. 1, lower. 2, lower. 3, lower. 4, lower. Hold it up for 5, 4, 3, 2. Come back down. Take the left foot onto the floor, lift the hips up, and move the hips over to the right. And then let both knees just fall down toward the left. And then again, you can let the right arm be heavy or no. It's completely up to you. Let this just feel meaningful. You're not just here, you're here. For 3 more breaths. 2. Good, and then slowly start to come back up through center. Put your hips back into the middle of your mat. Unwind your legs. Pull your knees in towards your chest. Start to rock up and down your mat 2 or 3 times. You're gonna rock up onto your feet. Tip some weight forward. Get up on your toes. And then you're gonna really push the right sit bone down toward the floor and maybe get a little lighter through the left hand. Start to lift that left arm up. Start to twist to the right. And then maybe, hiya, over the right thigh bone. Maybe right elbow or right hand to the back of the sacrum. Right elbow pulls back and this is where it stays. Or you can start to drop that left hand down. Keep the right knee on your left upper arm. Put your right elbow on your right hip and then set your right hand down. And then lean your chest forward. Like, look how I'm looking forward. See if you can shift a little more weight over to the left arm. Maybe lift the right hip up. Maybe set back down. Lift the feet. Come back down. And then from there, set your feet down. Your arm, feet, your hands. Take your feet wide. And just sit low. Just reset. This doesn't have to be anything specific. If I was really setting an intention with Malasana here, I'd be cueing it more, but this is just like counter pose. And then hop your feet back together. Up onto the tippy toes. And then I'll actually you know what? It might actually be useful to see it from the other side, so I'll do it from the other side. But left thumb pushes down into left hip crease. This might be where you go. Right back down onto your bottom might be where you go. Try to gaze at the tip of your nose. Start to twist to the left. Hook the right elbow. Hiya. And then push up. And then maybe left hand goes behind. So this is how you start to work twisted binds. Okay? So it's not even bound together. Who cares? Doesn't matter. And then right hand comes down. Left elbow wants to move out to the side, but I'm going to pull it in toward me underneath my left hip. And then I'm going to really gaze forward. And then I actually need to pull my right hand back a little bit more. That's going to boost my legs up my arm. And then chin forward, lean forward. More weight in right hand so you can lift the left shoulder up. And then left hip down. Come back through. Sit on your bum. Roll down onto your back. Roll out your wrists. Roll out your ankles. Chill. For 5. 4. 3. 2. So this is classical Pilates. So what you're gonna do, your rib basket wants to open all the time. So can you just sort of bring your rib basket in a little bit more so the low spine really grounds onto the floor. And these are tiny little undulations out to either side. So your left foot's actually going to start to come down the right leg so that the left hip can stay grounded. And then you'll come back up through center. And then the right one will come down along the left leg so that that right hip can really stay down. Work to keep it down. And then come back up. So the hands is easiest at 45 degrees in my opinion. And then move out. But really draw your left hip back down. So your feet should definitely nowhere near be at the same height. And then come back. And then I'll show you what happens. You pull off. Can you put it back down? And then back through center. And it's okay if you pulled off, but can you pull it back down by intentionally pulling the thigh bone back? And then back through center. And then you can move back and forth that way a couple times. You can start to pull your knees in toward your chest if you like, rock side to side that way, or even draw little circles on the ceiling with your knees. Take any other closing postures that might be in your toolbox. So some people like to get a back bend in. You can work through bridge maybe. There hasn't been a lot of, there's been some chest opening. Feel it out. Do something that feels good for you. I don't want to say yes or no to anything. Slowly start to come back down. So if you have questions, please make sure you ask me them. Because I want to help you learn to move your body. I don't want to tell you how to move your body. So any other closing postures that you might have, I'm just going to start to flick the lights off in my apartment. And then you're eventually going to make your way into a Shavasana. And once you find that space, really sink down into it. Make any minor adjustments you feel like you might need to make in order to be still. Maybe just notice how your body feels right now, and maybe how your mind was telling your body it felt throughout class. or whether you were really clear on what the body was telling you the whole way through. It's okay if you weren't. Stuff happens. It's really easy to get lost in the head. And when you get lost in the head, the easiest way to get out is to take a deep breath in. And then maybe a sigh out. And really stay with it. Notice the rib cage expand. Almost like energy is radiating out into your fingers and your toes. And then how when you exhale, everything just settles. And notice that's all you need. All the rest of the stuff that the mind wants to work in there, you don't need it. All we truly have is right now. So embrace it. Hold on to it. Breathe into it. Light some Palo Santo in it. You know, just be in it. And then when you're ready, you can just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, rock your head from shoulder to shoulder, rotate your wrists, your ankles. Wake yourself up however you like. Maybe take a long stretch if you've got the space, or come up to a seat and just rest in a seated meditation for a little while. When you do come to a seat, settle there. Notice if the two sides of your torso feel longer, and if your rib basket is starting to train itself to be more contained, or maybe you're being more aware of it. Sit up tall. Put your hands together in front of your heart. Bow your forehead toward your fingertips. Giving yourself a moment of silent gratitude for coming onto your mat, moving, breathing. Sending out silent gratitude to everyone. And taking in gratitude from me for being here. A final deep breath together over this screen. Inhale. Big old collective exhale, and just imagine how much tension just got released out of the world. Namaste. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Send me messages. Send me love. I will be here as long as you need me and as long as I know that you do. Any donations you can send through to the link in my bio. That's a link into my website where you can donate through PayPal, or my email is amorley9@gmail.com. So you could go there. Yeah. Have a great rest of the night, guys. Bye-bye.